Like it. Thank you very much, Red. Air Productions Incorporated of Houston, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, is pleased to present Chuck Stockdale and the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk.
My name is Chuck Stockdale. I'm the pilot of the Super Chipmunk aircraft you see in the background here. Well, this is a ex-Canadian Air Force trainer. They use this for primary training, and it's been highly modified for air show work. What we've done is to take the original engine, 145 horsepower Gypsy Major engine, and we've put in a 260 horse Lycoming engine, which gives it a lot more power for air show work. And the wings have been clipped off and shortened, and the internal structure of the wing connection has been beefed up, and the rudder's been enlarged, and we've got a bigger propeller on it and so forth.
Chuck Stockdale is one of those unusual pilots that just absolutely loves to fly. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, there he is, to the north end of the field, on the roll, Chuck Stockdale in the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk. As Chuck's first maneuver, he'll roll the Chipmunk to the inverted position and do a normal traffic pattern takeoff. You'll see he'll dip the left wing and push it off to the left, as he normally would do it in flight, except he's in the inverted position. That means all of his control positions are exactly opposite of what they would normally be. He's hanging in the seatbelt and the straps in the cockpit of the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk. Chuck maneuvers around to the south end of the field, ladies and gentlemen. Dips his wing as he finds the show center line. You'll see in just a moment. He'll turn the smoke on and slowly roll the aircraft, and that means he's setting up for his first maneuver. His first performance will be the inside loop. At the bottom, he's at about 200 miles per hour. When he pulls back on the control stick of the aircraft, his running wing will go to 7 Gs, 7 times its normal rate. Right about there as he pulls the beautifully painted red and white Dehavilland Super Chipmunk up across the top of the inside loop with the smoke still on. Right now, he's about 60 miles from the top. He's gaining back about 180 miles per hour at the ground. He ends about 25 feet off of the ground. You'll see him pull back on the control stick just about now and climb it right back up into these beautiful, partly cloudy skies. He'll hang it on the propeller until it won't go any further, and then reach up and very gently touch the rudder and perform a hammerhead turnaround. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Let's watch him as he finds the show center line again. Chuck will pitch the nose up just about right now, and he'll do a 4-point hesitation roll. Hesitating the Super Chipmunk every 9 degrees of roll and complete the 4-point roll. Once again, he'll keep the smoke on. Down to the north end of the field, he'll perform, as he establishes the vertical line, a 1/4 climbing vertical roll, and as it bleeds off airspeed and gets close to stall, he'll very gently push it across the top. Now he'll turn the smoke off and once again climb to about 1,000 feet to set up for his next maneuver. Chuck prefers to fly the Super Chipmunk because of its large size. It makes it easier for you to see. He dips the wing, looking for the show center line once again in the red and white, the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk. And let's watch him as he does another inside loop, this time with a twist. 220 miles per hour. His body is 7.5 times its normal weight right about there. Across the top, just about now, a snap roll right across the top. And he continues in the inverted position to complete another inside loop with a snap roll at the top. If we didn't have the wind, you'd see a nice arc in the sky. Let's watch him as he gains airspeed once again up to about 100 miles per hour. At about 100 feet of altitude, he's going to perform an inverted 360-degree turn. Let's watch him as he rolls to the inverted. And as he begins his turn, please remember that he's hanging in the seatbelt and shoulder harness. All control positions are exactly the opposite. The maneuver is doubly difficult because the turn is blind. He's turning in the direction of that down wing, and he's completely blind. He had to line himself up on the runway in the beginning, turn it very, very carefully until once again he gains visual contact with the runway again so he can finish his alignment and complete the 360-degree inverted turn. He gains the runway about that point, continues the inverted turn, lines himself back up again. A very difficult maneuver, the 360-degree inverted turn from Chuck Stockdale in the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk. He'll accelerate to 140 miles per hour, and down at the south end of the field, we'll execute another high-performance turnaround. There we are. He climbs it right straight up, and instead of hammerheading, he'll chop the power about now and just let the plane slide back down for its smoke. Get a tail slide. And a snap roll on the tail slide. And he goes out to the east to set up for another opportunity for you to get a good picture of this marvelous Dehavilland Super Chipmunk aerobatic airplane. If you like that tail slide, you're going to get an opportunity to get a picture of it as he does it head on to the crowd. Smoke is on. Let's watch him. He'll get right over midfield and hanging on the prop into another tail slide. Get your cameras ready because it'll be suspended for just a second and you can get a nice picture. Isn't that a pretty airplane? Red and white stripes. Hangs it on the prop until it won't go any further, then chops the power back and just lets it slide back down through the smoke. Beautiful maneuver. He'll do a snap roll and exit back out to the east.
I've been flying about 14 years now, and I always had an interest in aerobatics ever since I first started flying. Even just after I soloed, I had a desire to do it. So I basically taught myself to fly aerobatics, and I've owned several aircraft, and this is my third year flying the Super Chipmunk, and I like it for airshow work. It's a big airplane, it's highly visible, and we've painted it up red and white to try to make it as visible as possible.
As Chuck performs his salute to Texas, he'll pull the aircraft up and put it into the Lumshavak maneuver. That's Czechoslovakian for headache. Let's watch him as he puts it through it. Just about right now, he'll kick it over, and let's watch that airplane as it goes nose to tail and tail to nose, and flips and flops and bends and spins. The Lumshavak, Chuck Stockdale of the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk. And he's going to come back in. He's rocking his wings to let us know that he's setting up for his final maneuver. I'd like to draw your attention out to the intersection of the runway. Just a little bit to the right of the orange windsock, you'll see a set of poles, ladies and gentlemen, with ribbons across it. That's an indication of what Chuck is going to be doing on his next maneuver. He's going to go a little bit to the north end of the field and come back around low and slow to take a look at those poles and that ribbon and make sure that he's got it fixed in his mind exactly where it is. Let's watch him as he goes by and takes a nice look at it. Nice and low and slow. Turns the smoke on. He says, I'm going to look that over real good because the next time I see it, it's going to be upside down. He really enjoys flying that airplane for you. He'll hang it on the prop one more time and do another tail slide. Let's watch him as he goes up until it won't go any further. He'll chop the power back and let it slide back through his smoke. Now watch what he does from this point on. As it flops back down, he'll realign himself with the runway. He keeps it in the inverted position. He'll drive the airplane to about 180 miles per hour and get it down to within 25 feet on the ground. Now watch that ribbon I showed you a little while ago, because he's going to cut the ribbon with the tail of the aircraft at 25 feet off the ground in the inverted position. He's recalling the way it looked when he went over in the upright position. Let's watch him right now. Watch his wings take the final alignment and cut that ribbon right in two. Red and white. Chuck Stockdale, ladies and gentlemen, the Dehavilland Super Chipmunk from Houston, Texas.
I think the Confederate Air Force does a fantastic job of organizing and executing the air show, and everything from the traffic control down to the actual pilot briefing and the pilot performances. And I think overall, this is going to be one of the biggest air shows in the country.
Folks, you like it?